is up, YouTube? Nelcomal here, and yes, we have finally finished gaming week, so we can proceed with the normal uploads, which obviously it's still Monday and Wednesday relationship advice or blogs, and Thursday and Saturday gameplay videos. Before doing this video, I fell in love with the Alan Wake game. You know, it's like that game where it's like it has that Twilight Zone, the Shining style, and you're like going around like really hard, like, oh shit, here's some ghosts, let me go shoot them, and you don't know like where the next ghost can be. And you know, Alan Wake is a pretty good narrator, so I'm gonna be uploading every Thursday a new Alan Wake walkthrough, and every Saturday just a regular game, any game really. So today I really wanted to talk about, you know, the whole something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. It's a girl's beauty is not really on her physical looks, but rather on your likes or dislikes. But I wanted to talk about something else. You know, I'm gonna really sort of do that on Wednesday. Just something I really wanted to talk to today. So let's talk about my experiences on Dunkin Donuts. Now, my first official job before the one I have right now, which is security, was Dunkin Donuts, and it was pretty fun. Though, you know, I ate a lot of donuts, I ate a lot of drinks, ate a lot of soda, drank a lot of soda though, and I pretty much, you know, like served a lot of donuts. But I really want to talk about, you know, the stupid stuff that happened, because anyone who's worked in either retail or fast food knows that for some reason people that go there are like really stupid. Like, you hear their question and you're like, excuse me? What? Really? You asked that stupid question? Anyway, so I'm gonna sort of talk about, so yeah, I started there working, and you know, after like a few weeks or so, I started doing like the cash register. And I think one of the worst questions I've always been asked is, you know, those donuts, you know, the ones that have like the hole in the middle. So yeah, I would like, you know, be there, you know, like be like, next, and then the guy would say, excuse me, you know, those donuts over there, the old fashions, are they filled with anything? And I was like, what? Really? Really, dude? I mean, you're asking me? I mean, I said this all inside. I didn't say it to him. I was like, really, dude? You're really asking me that a donut that has a hole in the middle is filled with anything? And I was like, no. And this was like a freaking question. Like, I would receive this question practically like 5, 6, 7 times in 1 month. So one day I like had, and I was like, no, dude, there's a hole in the middle. Also, there was this other time where some dude like came over, and you know, we're like next, and it was like around 11 p.m. But in Dunkin Donuts, this is the one I work in, they always have breakfast and lunch, no matter what hour you come in. So the guy's like, okay, give me 5 sausages. So I was like, okay. So it's like, oh, okay, 5 sausages. He goes, no, number 5 with sausage. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. And inside I was like, how the hell should I have known that when you said 5 sausages, sorry, 5 sausages, it was number 5 with sausage? I mean, could you just said number 5 with sausage? You know, stuff like that. Also, I remember there was like this old guy that nobody like really wanted to like attend, and anybody who pretty much, you know, attended him would be like, oh fuck, I'm fucked up with this old, arrogant, angry old guy. So he was always like pretty grumpy, screaming at people, being all angry and shit. Like, I remember there was this one time where there was this girl, I was like sweeping the floor and I was like mopping it. So all of a sudden this old guy comes in, and this female coworker of mine, she was like, you know, attending him, and she was like, okay, so you want number 1? He's like, yeah. And then he goes, yeah, I want a number 1. And then she says, okay, what donut do you want on your number 1? So all of a sudden the guy like flips out and said, I want a number 1. Don't you know what a number 1 is? And then she's like, I just asked you what donut do you want for your number 1? And he goes, okay, old fashioned. Then I remember after he left, I passed to her and I was like, you know, I heard that apparently you don't know what a number 1 is. Like, yeah, that old asshole. He was like threatening me and shit. Now, this is also another thing. Speaking of number 1, so there's this like old guy that comes in. This one was actually nice. He wasn't like a douchebag like a lot of them are. You know, no offense to you old people, I love you and stuff, but for some reason, there's a lot of old guys that I don't know why, but after they become old, they become dicks. Why do you people become dicks? Anyway, so this old guy comes and I'm serving his food, and I'm like ringing it up, and I say, okay, your number one is 427. He goes, and he like falls to the ground. I was like, I had like an inside joke. I was like, damn, man, he must have gotten upset over the fact of the prices. So I was like, oh, fuck. He had like, I don't know how they say it in English, but the reason as to why he fell down to the ground is because he had something that is called bajón de azúcar. It's like when your blood sugar goes down, you go, blop. So all of a sudden, like everybody's like swarming around him, and the security guard is like, call in this, call in an ambulance. So the ambulance comes, takes him away. All of a sudden, there's like this big brown bag, and when the security guard looks at it, there's like a ton of money in it, and he's like, damn, man, I gotta give this old guy his money. Good thing I actually saw it instead of everybody else. If not, they would have stolen it. So a lot of experiences like that. So yeah, you know, pretty much as I was working in the Dunkin Donuts, I would have like these weird dreams, you know, because McDonald's was cool to pretty much work at, but due to the people being stupid, it kind of stressed you out. So I would have dreams where I was, you know, in the cash register attending people, and if I didn't understand the order or I didn't want to like attend that person, I would go like this, and they would like pretty much like blow up. You know, I would create like explosions from my hands that would blow them up. So now I'm gonna talk about, you know, experience I had over the drive-thru. This is something that really pissed me off, and I really never forget it. So we were at the drive-thru, and that day it was like jam-packed. You know, people were buying donuts and shit, and all of a sudden, the only donuts that were left were the Boston cream. Not the Boston cream, sorry, the Bavarian cream. So yeah, so we had to like sell those Bavarian creams. So, you know, people would come in, they would see the Bavarian cream, and be like, ah, fuck you, and they would like leave. So I was in the drive-thru, and the manager said, hey, before anybody orders to the drive-thru, tell that the only thing that is left is Bavarian cream. Now, the next donuts, the new fresh donuts, were coming in like 3 hours. So we pretty much had to sell the Bavarian. So all of a sudden, the car comes, and he's like, I'm like, welcome to Dunkin Donuts. Hey, just in case, before you order, I want to tell you, the only donuts, I said it like this, the only donuts we have available right now are Bavarian cream. And then he goes, oh, okay. You have glaze? And I was like inside of me, no, dumbass. The only donuts we have is Bavarian cream. So, okay, I attended him. Now, this lady came in and she was the worst. So I tell her, yeah, the only donut we have available right now is Bavarian cream. And she goes like, oh, okay, do you have this? And I'm like, no. So she orders. When she comes through the window, she comes and tells me, oh, excuse me, do you guys have, crumb donuts? And I'm like, no, lady, no, I told you that the only donuts we have right now is Bavarian cream. And then she goes, oh, okay, do you have guava crumb? No, the only donuts we have available right now are Bavarian cream. And then after that, I was like, you know, people are stupid in this place. I also want to talk about another thing that really sort of like pissed me off and was really incredible. It was the whole like debit credit card thing. So usually over here in Puerto Rico, when you are given a debit card, they just, okay, and they pass it without any ID. Usually how they taught us is that when you look at a debit card and it has either a Master or a Visa logo, you would have to ask for their identification. A lot of people did it, but I think I was one of the only ones that did it. So a lot of people that I would ask for ID, they would either get pissed, they would have to like go to the car and get it, they would put up fights. One time I actually asked it to a policeman, and he was like, oh, what do you think? Do you think that I just randomly stole it? Another time it was like actually like really the girl's fault, but she was actually blaming me as to why I didn't take their credit card. So she looks at me and is like, okay. I put in the order and she gives me her debit card. I'm like, I need to see your ID. Oh, why? There's like different conflicting names here. Oh no, but we're related. Look, we have the same last name. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't accept this because, you know, this is not your card. This is somebody else's card. And then they take out the cash and they're like really angry. Oh, you asshole, you dumbass. And I was like, yes, have a nice day. Now, I want to talk about like these 3 unique stories that I heard. I wasn't there because everything, all the good stories happened while I was off. So all of a sudden, this friend of mine says that one day he was attending the cash register, the drive-through area. So this girl orders, she leaves, she comes back, and comes to my friend. He's like, "Oh, you dumbass! You gave me the order wrong. You and that fat motherfucker always give me the wrong order," which is me. So all of a sudden, like the guy's like, like leaving away from her, and then she's like screaming, and he says very, very low. He goes, "You're just gonna go suck my dick, bitch." The chick hears it. She jumps over the fucking counter and she starts kicking his ass with the keys. And he's like, and all of a sudden the security goes, "Call the cops! Call the cops!" And all of a sudden, the manager, which is a female, is like trying to separate them. The girl goes and pushes her away. The manager flies back and hits a wall, fracturing her fucking back. After the girl pretty much kicked my friend's ass with the key, she just like jumps and leaves. Another story is there was like this girl. She was like a little skinny. Apparently she used to be a stripper, but I guess because stripping wasn't good anymore, because it wasn't in high demand or something, she was working at that Dunkin Donuts. Now, there were stories that, she had like a very possessive and jealous boyfriend. And again, on another day that I was off, this boyfriend comes to her and is arguing with her because he didn't pick up the phone when he called her. So it was like, "Oh, bitch, why didn't you pick up the phone when I called you?" And then she said something, and the guy all of a sudden, whap, he slaps her in the face, like right in front of all the employees and all the customers that were inside. The same kid that got his ass kicked by the keys, when I went there and they told me the story, he was like, "Oh man, that motherfucker's lucky. If I wasn't working, I would have jumped through that counter and kicked his ass." So the next few days, like in all fast foods and retail stores, the story pretty much gets there quickly. The next day, not only did everybody knew, but after that, a week later, almost every customer knew of that story. So, a regular customer, which would come in at around 5 a.m. to order his big coffee with like 10 sugars, he went and said, "Oh man, I heard about your boyfriend, that he's an asshole. He went and beat you up. I hope you left him." And she's all saying like, "No." Like every girl does, with their abusive boyfriends, that they use like that scapegoat bullshit. "Oh no, it's just that, he's a nice guy and I love him, blah, blah, blah." So the dude all of a sudden comes out and says, "Girl, I'm sorry, what's wrong with you? Does he have a golden dick?" I mean, the golden dick expression, we use it here when a girl is with an abusive boyfriend, but yet she doesn't leave him. So we use that whole, "Oh, he must have a golden dick, that's why she's with him." So all of a sudden she was like in shock, and I was like laughing in the background, and he was like, "I'm sorry, but that's how you gotta talk to these girls, I mean, because this guy is very possessive and jealous. I pretty much see that you're always very frighteningly answering the phone, and on your break time, you pretty much have to call him to check in, and when he has to pick you up, you have to be at an exact spot in order for him to pick you up." So yeah, that was pretty stupid. Now the next story, this one's like the weirdest one of all. All of a sudden, like comes in, he looks suspicious. So all of a sudden, he comes in and he hands over a paper. This is what I call robbery over paper. So he hands over a paper to the cashier, and then he says, "Comply with everything that I want, and nobody gets hurt." So he pretty much wanted the money that was located in the back office. So he pretty much, like walks over, goes to the manager, gets the backup money, comes back, gives it to him, and he like walks away like nothing. So yeah, it was like a pretty stupid story, which I called robbery through money. So yeah, I'm gonna go and end it right here. If you guys want more Dunkin' Donuts stories, pretty much tell me in the comments below, and as always, subscribe and comment. This is almost 15 minutes. It's been a little long. So this is Nercomal signing off.